Hello to whatever sign this is. Welcome into the space. I go by the Holy Cow. You're watching the Tethered Studios YouTube archive. Basically, this is a summer zodiac specific series that I felt like would give a good overview for what we kind of got going on in the next few weeks for this leg of 2026. Again, some just like spiritual oversight, all the good things. I literally have all of the remaining zodiac signs in my hand on a piece of paper, just so that you can establish a rapport of trust and know that like I don't pre-record this and like know who I'm about to get. So yeah, thank you for being here. You know who you are before I do. So welcome into the space. These are timeless messages, but they are definitely speaking to the thematics of right now. So yeah, sit back, relax. Hopefully you have some water and a good environment to really connect to your source. You don't really need to know much more about me. I'm just here to get you the message straight up. Let's see who's up next. This one I know is going to be a heater. Who is this? Who is this? Who is this? What? Sagittarius, dude. Yo, this is like getting crazy right now. It's kind of getting crazy right now. That's legitimately perfect. Sorry about the doge. Sagittarius, welcome into the room. We need to, I feel like I'm like Sagittarius, we need to have a discussion. I don't know. I'm just checking in with my body and with what I feel at this current moment of time. Sagittarius, I think right now God is like genuinely having you come forward with the holiness. I think we need Sagittarian to come forward and like establish the morality. We need the Sagittarians to rise up and be like, okay, enough is enough. We need the Sagittarians to be like, no, we're not. Morally, this is just compromised. Because we're it's like they cut us out of the table, Saggies. Like, I'm sorry, yeah, you can cut me from the picture, but if you remove Sagittarius, which is the higher wisdom, the higher path, because right now I think it's like dark as hell on these streets and these girls, it's not looking too good. It's not looking too good. Look at there you were at the bottom of your own deck before the pre-shuffle. You get what I'm saying, Saggy? No shade, no tea to these girls, but it's not looking, I don't feel like it's looking bright. And I feel like right now Spirit is about to call Sagittarius. I feel like you have a say right now, especially because you're one of the readings that's coming out before the Cap full moon. I think you play a very big part on like really whooping these people's ass and really reminding them about the moral compass, really reminding them why we don't do gutter ass shit and why we don't just let it get to whatever. You know what I'm saying? I think right now, Sagittarius, you are the one who's going to shoot your arrow of fire to protect purity at all costs. So there are certain territories that we should not be blurring lines with, and I feel like that's just something you're standing up with right now. Exactly. You're using your Sagittarian authority to be like, you need to go ahead and have a funeral for this sorry-ass behavior, this sorry-ass, putrid-ass, funky-ass, doo-doo-ass. Like, we're not going to create that. King of Wands, like, this is you denying the request. This is you being like, turn around and go home now. Turn around and go home now, Sagittarius. Sagittarius, like, get out now. Get the hell out of here with that. Look how sorry these people feel for even coming up to, because they thought you weren't going to stand on business. What? They thought you weren't going to stand on business of the ethics. This is saying, Sagittarius, you're like our ethical code right now. It's like, okay, we don't just move on whims. You know what I mean? You're just not going to just like, no. It's like, no. Exactly. Sagittarius, look at you protecting the kids. You go now. You take that sorry shit out of here now, because we not... Sagittarius, I feel like you ain't scared. You ain't turning it down just or having to things. Like, I'm trying to make sure I'm not screaming because when it comes to whether you die for some stuff, do you see this is what I'm saying? You need to kind of be making noise like Mia. Yeah. Because I'm looking at Mia now, she's talking because she's like trying to communicate. But it's like, Mia, whatever the advocacy really is, don't let it go. You know what I mean? Don't lose the point. Don't lose the plot. Like if it's like, you know.
What's up you're feeling?
Because this is neglect. You see what I'm saying? You're assessing the condition that the kids are really in, Sagittarius. And I feel like whatever morally you're standing up for right now, it's because of the result. It's like very Capricorn. It's like, well, because of the result, I'm saying, which is like the kids are not being looked after. It's not being taken care of. It's not getting done. And I genuinely think that Sagittarius is really defining what Empress energy, what taking care of it really would require. I think you're letting people know right now in the collective, because Sagittarian energy is like, yeah. We'll know that you're an Empress when you actually show signs of completely running and sustaining all of the things you want. Sagittarius, you're really barking back at the people that are like, you say you want to be a mother, but you only pick up and show up for 13% of that, you know? Or you say you want to be a business owner, but you running that shit into the ground. Or you say you're a great artist, but your shit is trash. You know, it's like, it's shit like that. It's like you sitting here protecting the Empress, like, excuse you. That's the Empress, brother. But it's the Sagittarian energy that's gonna get him every time. Because walk him like a dog, sis, walk him like a dog. Because Sagittarius is very aware that the Empress would walk you like a dog if you came with the rah-rah. You get what I mean? If you came with the rah-rah. If you come to an Empress and all you have is your Ace of Wands and that's really what you thought it was about to be, it's not about to be no dickmatized, no. We know, the Sagittarius is like, we know why you'd be over here. It's 9 rubies. You coming over here with this. That's what it would have always, this is what you're making people reflect on. The places where you sold yourself for what? Because I think Sagittarius has had enough of trying to fix and clean it up for you girls. Where you think this is enough? A creative new beginning? That's what I'm saying. This is like the revenge of all the decent mothers, the women who were brought into motherhood who actually probably would have just been like pretty tight one mothers, but they still are in a karmic situation because their baby daddy still brought them into motherhood outside of God's covenant. Do you get what I'm saying? That would all be coming under the surface like right now. Hey, don't you? You know? So I think we're really, Sagittarius, you're really telling people, you're really throwing it in their face. You're really hurting feelings. You're really like, and what good is this Ace of Wands even worth? You got the audacity to come around here, running with the rah-rah, running with the rah-rah. Sagittarius is like, you don't even have a higher vision. You so musty and dirty. Just get out of here, brother. You so musty and dirty that you don't even, you know what I mean? That's it. You're really throwing it in their face, for real. Is what it's looking like. And we ain't even got no cards out. Pernell. And the other thing that's embarrassing is the way that the highest, for the High Priestess, the all-seeing aspect of yourself, saw it for what it was. That's the other thing that's awkward is like people's awakening right now is that they went up to God. People don't realize that Sagittarius, if you really are devoted to God, which is why you're so free-spirited, because you're like, it's just complete devotion to God, the oldest fire sign. So when people find out your Sagittarian energy genuinely is a reflection of the Most High, people realize they went up to you and showed you their bussy meat, was acting all nasty and stuff, and it's like God was tearing. It's like as if they went up to the Creator and were like, and you're like, okay. Okay. Because now the High Priestess, it's like the police have been, you see what I'm saying? The feds are here. They're taking you away now. They're locking you up now because I don't know what you thought this was. Like, is what do you want to, what do you want to do? All right, brother. Let's release down. Come on, Harold. Come on, Harold. Freedom. Okay. So Saggy, undo the Capricorn when you're really understanding this, Sagittarius. If you can really fire off on reminding us all of what the human condition like is required, like what's like acceptable, like literally our ethics and morals. Like if you can do the heavy lifting right now in your world and feel very comfortable being Sagittarian, which is being principled, being like, I'm this much of a master because I've learned to yield and stoke my own fire. This is someone who's great. This is who you want to make the campfire for the night. This is literally you being in a position right before you go into the Capricorn full moon where it's like the things that the way you just body it, the stuff you really take responsibility, the fact that you know how to light the whole campfire yourself is actually is met with something that is ready to invest in that, because it is very much a service. It is an energetic public service to be able to do that. I think it is now your fortune, you know, because for a long time Sagittarius just being wise, not making foolish decisions, but really paying attention and being self-aware, because this is like a lot of self-awareness. This is very Capricorn. I feel like you're getting very rewarded. That's why you got to go next. I feel like you're getting very rewarded, Sagittarius, ironically enough. Because I think you already took the ego death. I think you, Sagittarius, remember, you wasn't always up, but it's kind of like a laugh now, cry later thing. Like, I think because your season of crucifixion was a while ago, you're kind of at that place where you should really share your wisdom. You should, like, really tell people, like, what you, like, what your the benefits of, like, changing your ways, like, carrying your weight and cleaning your shit up. because you actually are about to get like a payout for like being cleaner. Like you're the type of person that was like, I am not who I used to be because I chose to make a conscious choice to like transform myself. Like I used to be like you girls, and then there was that time, remember when I was getting publicly crucified because I was a mess, and it was a public mess. Well, you're past your public messy cycle. Now you're in the cleaner cycle, and no matter where you are, you may not be perfect, but you're still way better than what you were. So it's basically like proof. This proof that God asked you to be a better person, because no matter what you got to, it'd still be better for the planet that you were the new version of you. So this is basically Sagittarian being paid out fatty for being crossed over and just comfortable. And you've been in a new one, you know what I mean? That just being crossed over. Of course you'd be the first to cross over. I feel like you were the first to cross over, and you've been crossed over, and now you're just getting like, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is almost like someone like giving you a bunch of resources, and now you're about to go build it. Like this is like someone's like, yes! It's because it's like you've just been something you've been waiting for, because you built all the plans for it. It's like, oh, here's the, you know, oh, we got the funding. Okay, great. Now the architects are off to their races. It's like, great, good. You know, Wheel of Fortune. It's like that type of frequency for you Sagittarius, because you've been crossed over. I feel like that's what the title of this message is going to be. Whoop, whoop, whoop. And Sagittarius, this is amazing. This is amazing, brother. This is amazing, because look what just came out. You crossed over when you're the only one who protected the covenant. You're the only one who really believed the covenant. And how did you believe the covenant? You may not have always been able to go up to something and be like, I know 100% that's divine, because you're on your own journey, but you know when something is not the covenant. So you are really good, maybe in your interpersonal relationships, where you're like, no, I don't piss and eat in the same on the same plate. You know what I mean? I'm not the type of person that's going to be that dumb to know that, like, Sagittarius, you know what's not for you. This is genuinely being like, it wouldn't matter who came up to me, because I know the key of life. It's not about bussy me. It's not about experiences. It's not about getting this from nobody. The real, if you have a covenant or something, or if you have a business you've created that you love, or you have a child, you know, it's like whatever it is, it's like, you know what's on the interior of that, and what it really, you know what the lovers really is made up of, because you've experienced it. So I just feel like right now under this moon, it's almost like maybe there's something that's been, it's almost, this is like crazy good standards. This is like why you're going to be really glad you didn't say yes to like something that was beneath your standards, and that you believed in something better, because your high priestess was the one who said, this isn't the truth. This isn't really the covenant for you. But I think because, exactly, and it's over the sun, right? And Sagittarius, I think a lot of you too were able to recognize, I think a lot of you, your crucifixion was like maybe having or creating something, creating life with something you weren't supposed to, it wasn't ordained to. You know, it's like you can go in a partnership with something, but you weren't. So you have that wound where it's like, I remember whether you like dated somebody that you should, it wasn't ordained by God, you shouldn't date that person, or like, and you know what I mean, and you created the relationship, or like you created a child out of like a divine, like not a right covenant, or you like, you know, made a business that you weren't supposed to, you know, you it's almost like that's what's crossing this energy, is that because you genuinely, like, your high priestess was like, no, this doesn't check out with me, this isn't something that's a part of my higher plan. You know what kind of karmic debt you make, because you have something, you've created a prophecy that with something that is not, you already know that. So this is you in the current moment. What would have been crossing you to motivate you to like be ready to like build something new or something kind of structure and just wait for the funding of that would be because of that, because you already knew, you've already done the thing, you know. It's beautiful. Oh my God. And why, and Sagittarius, you're the freest right now. Why are you the freest? Because your shadow is integrated. If you see a Sagittarius placement out right now, them niggas integrated their shadow. They had the public distribution. But remember I always told you, Sagittarius, I don't got no loyalties to nobody but God. And I think you guys always really respect me for that. You guys actually really attracted to me, because it's like, I play fair. I deal with what's on the table. I warn you guys, you're not going to get away with anything. So if you ever do plot some backwards ass shit, like, I'm never going to take your side, because you're actually going out of your way to like waste time plotting backwards ass shit when you could be like smoking a breezer and chilling out, right? But it looks like the reason your soul is set free is because you already got sent through your dark night of the soul. So this is where that, like, sometimes, I think maybe in the past you thought this was bad timing for you to be matching up with like a shithole partner that was like not checking out with your higher self, but it was actually the perfect timing, because it got you pre-put, you're like you went in the batch of people on the ferry that went early, and so now you're like, oh shit, I'm free, because I don't care about none of that. It don't matter to me. Because I think this is also the thing, it's like, where when all the old shit drops off, you still have something, you get what I'm saying, you had a plan for yourself. I think Sagittarius, this may be heavy because there are partnerships that I think you could very much be like, this is the that's bye, you know, because it's for that reason. It's that. But the good news is, Sagittarius, you're the part of the collective. It's like, but you still did your own. You built you you made plans for yourself. So that means you were in partnerships not being codependent. So you can be judged for being in a fuck up contract like this. You can be God did judge you, yes, because you weren't supposed to be over there. But where you would be a real sucker, where you can fail the group test but pass the individual, is like, well, at least you weren't codependent. You get what I'm saying? Like, you still know, like, I was taking care of myself within that relationship. So you were also you were misaligned, but it doesn't mean you were showing up negatively. Like, I don't think this is a split that's like you're a bad person. It's just you're not aligned to it. So you means you were being disobedient. So you got the karma for disobedience, because you will eventually be serving the author of confusion completely, because you'd have to be keeping a mirage going. Because it's not about how good you can make it look. It's about how ordained it actually is, my brother. And it either is or it isn't. So if it's just it isn't, it doesn't matter how hard you try and how much money you try to back it. If it wasn't ordained, I think you know that now, Sagittarius. It's like, it's going to crumble on that. Yes, it will. But I do feel like, you know, many of you, like I said, this is coming down, but what you're set free is, I think you're having an individual freedom. So yeah, I think a lot of you are coming out of union, Sagittarius, and I'll be very honest with you, because you weren't supposed to be in it. But the good news is like, even when you were in it, you did learn and grow. And so I don't even think it's a thing you'll be ashamed of. It's like, you know, it's like getting a divorce, but it's like, I'm not actually even ashamed. It's like, it doesn't even matter. It's not even a bad thing. It's just like, the way that people would know about it is like, we need to make sure we're doing what we're actually supposed to be doing. Yeah. And maybe I was in a place in my life where I thought it was about the right thing to do, even for my context, you know, because maybe you're not in like a cookie cutter lifestyle or anything, but I think it's still about the framework you had about some of these partnerships. It was like, this is what I'm supposed to do, versus what is God asked, already written, and am I deviating, am I freestyling? Because I think, Sagittarius, you kind of represent, you might be like, you might like be sparking the like self-healing of like the whole tattoo propaganda. Like, that's kind of what it gives, where it's like you kind of reflect on all your tattoos. That's like the vibe. It's like, yeah, there's a certain point where it's like, some tattoos you can't say God told you to get that, because God said you're perfect as you are. It's like, there's just, it's like, that's the thematic. So you can't like stretch or lie to yourself on what it is or what's really necessary, because I think what's necessary says you should do the least, and it looks like you can get caught up doing the most. I think this is also a lot of Sagittarians getting caught up kind of doing the most to make something that's just misaligned be the truth. And it doesn't really matter whether you do the most or you produce some result. Like, it's not true. And it sucks when that like simple sentence, oh my God, scared the shit out of me. Like, but it sucks when that simple sentence like can destroy your whole thing. Because no shade, no tea, that's kind of what it is. It's like, whatever. This moon could be very heavy for you too, because it's like, to be reduced to this little, like just this, like just yourself. And this is within. It can reflect outside of you, but like within, you really just have to be like able to, like, you're going to be, it's, when I talk about sourcing your life for yourself, that's what the Fool card really like identifies. You get what I'm saying? And so for some of you girls who are actually like buried in distraction, so you like run a mansion and a multi-billion-dollar, it's like, okay, it's because that might not feel as great when it's, you get what I'm saying? You're going to be battling a lot of your own demons, it seems like, when you're walking through your night of the soul. Because you're actually already been free. You've been freed from it, but you were addicted to the things that you've been lightened. This is the other thing. It's like, this is also kind of that like healing that internal rape frequency where we want that to happen to ourselves. That sort of Kurt Cobain, like, right me, like that kind of freak me, where it's like, I feel like I deserve this, because it's like, this is like something that goes against your spirit though. So it's like, you shouldn't be in this space where you're like trying to build it and produce it and show it and but it's like, it's literally like the primordial base of it is that it doesn't even be a spirit at all. It doesn't check out at all. You're just partnered to this thing. It's not Sag. The high priest is in the reverse. If Alexis was the high priest in the situation, this is me being like, baby, that's not that's not for you, baby. This is literally God being like, that's not for you. Because I think the thing that I would tell you that'll set you free right now, Sagittarius, that we want you to stand emboldened in for the collective, is that like, whether the truth like doesn't change, right? So if you got in a relationship and it was a toxic one from the start, it doesn't matter if the context or your ability to mask it or make illusions around it is top tier. It will stay the consistent same thing the whole time through. So what is true of my relationship with Dennis today is the same of what was true of it in 2017. Nothing more, nothing less. The amount of compatibility, the amount of chemistry, all of that. The only thing that can maybe deepen is our sense of trust and shared experience. But the capacity for love is going to be the same from the moment we were here. What was possible then is what has created what's possible now. Type of thing, you know? And so, if from the beginning of the partnership, the dynamic, what was possible then was like, you know, what you knew. We can make the house look good. We can make this look good. We can make these aspects look good. It's like, you know, but also it doesn't fulfill me in this way. It doesn't even feel like a choice in certain ways. This isn't even something that's resonating with my body. Like, all those things could have been there, and it's not. And it doesn't matter how many years, decades, times, months, you go through. It's like, it's always, that's the real truth. And I think that's what's kind of being rinsed clean in the Sagittarian frequency right now. It's like the real truth of like, what has it felt like the entirety? Because I think we see you, you know? I think God sees you picking someone that God didn't pick for you. And I think we see you putting your investment and a lot of your magic ability to build, you're getting materials together and you're finding funding under this vibe. But maybe I'm putting it up as like, maybe that's the thing, Sagittarius. It's like, maybe God needs Sagittarius's inner thoughts and inner guidance from God to be public record is what I feel like. So that other people can see what Sagittarius is being told, because maybe you're not just, it's like you gotta be, I feel like God's gonna push you off this cliff is actually the vibe. Actually, so you got punted off the cliff is actually kind of what I feel is like actually happened here. Yes. Because it looks like, look how far away they were from the mountaintop. They're so far away. So it looks like you had a partnership that from the first day you met them, it was a now. For your spirit, now. But you were this far from the mountain here. Now, this person, this is like a narcissistic attachment. And what they'll do, they took everything from you, and now you're at the top of the cliff, and you're just about to walk off. Because that's how long you've followed this partnership until it gutted your shit. You get what I'm saying? Look at how the POV has changed. The first day you met, this is like, if the first day I ever met Dennis, it's like, you know, my spirit was like, no, and we knew that we could just walk our way all the way up this mountain together. And that could take how many years, right, to get to the other side of that, right? So it looks like here, though, now what's manifested is that you're already on the cliff up. You made it to the top of the mountain, but it looks like you're alone. You're free, you're liberated, but it's kind of like the same truth. It's like you could have gotten in the partnership, but it shows that you were no less alone when you were walking the path. Do you get what I'm saying, Sag? Because also these are partnership cards, but it's like just you. It's either split up and doing separate things, or just like. But there will never be a certain blending here, because this key does not fit in this keyhole. And I just see a lot of Sagittarians in dynamics where it's like, if you're at a low vibration, it can be like, just take your shit and get your bag and get the, you know, like just get you. It's like so like certain people are leaving, getting cut out of deals where it's like nobody wins here. It's just like we want to be so down with each other. It's like, okay, bro, donate it to the public, and let's just all fucking, since everybody's so good at making money, why don't you all stand on your business? We can just wash this business clean. I'm seeing like some low levels of Sagittarius. It's like, you know what? I don't even care. Take it back and get out of here today. I'm out of here today. Ain't nothing going on. It's like on a low level. On a higher level, it's just like you don't even care if you walk out with nothing. Your truth, your connection to yourself is something you're just gonna have to. Because I think you might have gone too far, and I think this also can be a problem I'm hearing if you allow certain people to infiltrate your resources and you fund them to do that. This is giving people creative direction. It's like you're, again, Sagittarius, you have real things, real resources, real access to God that you got. So it's like God's going to spit you out to remind you that like you were individually given all this stuff because of your connection to me. But here's your problem. You're playing house or something. You're playing something with somebody, and then it's like you're giving them creative. It's like it's not even what they're doing wrong. It's the systemic issue is that like they shouldn't be the person doing this. They shouldn't be in this space, in this like position. And so if they were creative directing and it would just kind of be the kind of a rapport where it's like that's also an offense because they shouldn't even be over there. It's like you're getting got right now because the stock is bad. The stock's going to be bad if it's not ordained, no matter what it is. It doesn't matter. Relationship, marriage, it doesn't matter. The stock's going to be bad if it's not ordained. This is some not ordained shit, but then it's like each of you are like trying to, you're still like, it's high level. It can be high level performance art, like high level. This is deep shadow integration. I also want you to understand you're going to be very much alone. It's very much like equal in your conscious desire and your internal space. I think you need to be alone for a second. I genuinely do. Genuinely, I just heard it's like maybe you need to be alone because this is a lot of your own resources, your own stuff, your own experience, your own pull, your own funding, your own whatever. It's crossed by the partnership, but it's also just like what manifests right now is really just like, I want the freedom to be lighter and also walk with my darkness. I feel like that's what God wants you to do. It's like you need to be like walking this new cycle, able to claim your darkness, which means you can't let you have to conclude your past. You can't be, I feel like you can't walk. The reason God's like isolating you right now, you're not gonna, I feel like I have to say this, it's like you're not gonna be able to go through the full moon portals. Like you're gonna be squeezed into like such a small keyhole that it can't, all the excess can't come with you. And it's on purpose because it's just like you're not gonna be able to walk with your shadow if you keep things that punish and shame your shadow. For example, staying in a partnership that is not ordained will eventually, one day you'll complain about it and you can't complain about it. So that's going to come up under this moon. You're going to want to complain about it and you can't because you're doing both at the same time. You're trying to say, this is my shadow, this is my truth, I like, because they're light, and no matter what partnership you get in, you have to accept them for light and for dark. They have to, and it's by accepting it, you can only really do it if they mirror you. So they're never going to mirror you if this is the scenario. The only way you can guarantee mirroring is if you go to God and ask, who did you design for me? Bring them to me now. That's the only time you're going to have any kind of guarantee in a relationship for any kind. And I just feel like if, in the past, in the age of Pisces, you weren't coming from any sense of higher knowledge. That's what I'm saying. You have to reconnect to your morality, the morality of your ancestors, like the philosophies of your ancestors. How did they look at the world? What did they deem they needed? Because I feel like there's a disconnect there. Because your high priestess would be connected to all that supreme knowledge from everything that's come before you, and it looks like you didn't use any supreme knowledge to make this choice. It was probably something guttural, something like, baddie or, whatever. But you can just get into high-level karmic soup. It doesn't even mean it gets any more holy. It could just be like a heavy karmic connection. I'm just trying to let you girls know, because I don't really like the feeling of it. I personally don't like the feeling of just like being in connection with people that it's like, that nauseates me, because I don't like to stay in my head and in the invisible realm. I actually am very sensory, so I prefer to like be here. I'd rather any relationship like be something that I can like move out of the like non-proven realm, And so I just feel like that's kind of, all of that information for you, Sag. Yep, and in the rear past, karma. Okay, yes, somebody... Sagittarius, somebody's Ace of Wands, it's karma, there's justice, judgment, like, this is also, again, abuse. It's like there's an original abuse. I think Sagittarius, also, I'm going to be very honest with you, there was an abuse that could have happened in any capacity. It's like someone creating what I feel like it's like something that someone chose to create, something that someone chose to do in the recent past was karmic. It was imbalanced. The scales out of balance. But I feel like it was the 10th strike. No shade. 10th strike. So I think when you say finally, Sagittarius, you are not ordained by my high priestess, it's because someone has shown you consistently. This is consistent abuse. Someone has consistently been abused. So I'm holding space for you, Sagittarius, too, if you've like consistently been abused by something in any capacity, because this is someone's Knight of Pentacles constantly doing this. Because God is already revealing that when they do it one time, it's karmic. It's karma shows up. So someone has had 10 strikes. It's like they hit their unlucky strike is what I want to say. Someone is hitting their unlucky strike with you, and it is the fallout of the spirit. It's it's almost like this is the confirmation. This just shows that you're comfortable. This is your vibe. This is when someone is like confirming what their vibe is on. Because maybe, like I said, I feel like there was this like, once upon a time in this dynamic, you started here. We weren't on the top of the mountain, but I feel like you made it to the top of the mountain with this person, and the whole way up the mountain, they was beating you with those things. Like, no, it's like abusive. The whole way up the mountain, dead ass, bro. So now that you're at the peak of the mountain, I don't know what you had to do, but you dropped them. You like, matter of fact, I'm about to walk off the edge of this mountain without you. Because I did the whole walk with you, and you wasn't on nothing other than just repeating the same thing over and over again until it was just too burdensome. But I feel like you're very enlightened. You're not even mad. You're like, but it's always going to be burdened, because God wants you to understand Sagittarius was always going to be burdensome if it's not for you. Something can only abuse you if it's not for you. You are being bestowed the primordial truth. The truth is setting you free. The truth is also bringing you into real union. you're just like, you realize it's like, it's for me as a Sagittarius, it'll always be that I'm here to marry my own soul, that I'm here to fall, like, love you, like, let me be that first. The planet Earth realm is nothing but a mirror. My husband is like, from my perspective, my husband is a mirage, and from his perspective, I'm a mirage. I'm just a reflection. If I'm always in his space 24/7, and we're like always on top of each other, it's like just because we mirror each other that deeply. That's the only truth we get revealed every day, and that's how we like navigate our life, knowing like, well, it's a useful tool. If this person completely mirrors me, then we can gather a lot of information about how I'm doing, how he's doing. You know what I mean? In general. So I feel like that's what's happening, is you're realizing like my truth is gonna set me free. Because before all of this, there was me. And I was enough to even call this in the first place. I was someone that, you need to remember, you were someone that people wanted to be in union with. And maybe that's kind of the thing, is like, you're not flirting back with, it's not even about people anymore. It's like, you need to go back out and be open to life again. So I just feel like this has been a long, it could be, it's like 10 years, it's like 10 years, 10 months, 10 cycles, it's like, Jesus. 10 generations of the same curse. It's like, it doesn't even matter, dude. It's like, these passages, like justice, like karma. In your near future, Sagittarius, I'm gonna go pee really quickly. You guys get some water. This is such a whatever, girls. Shut up. Okay. 2 of Swords, 6 of Pentacles. I think in the near future, you are going to be like an assassin when it comes to discerning breadcrumbing. Right? People who want to balance your life for you. Who, you know, I think you're just, I think, believe it or not, you're just at the end of that cycle. I think this is what I also tell you guys, to really adopt some more indigenous practices, like really connect with like where you're from and how they like marked time, because so many of us are like on different people's calendars and taking in different influences at a like very like ancestral level. So it's like we don't really even know how we're organizing ourselves right now, because this just kind of looks like an energy where it's like, you know, you're getting caught up in things with people. Again, it's like you have to have God, because there's so many people on the planet, there's so much shit going on right now, like it could be fucking anything. And I just feel like you get this type of, you catch this type of stray that like is down to try to, like, if you go up to someone and you're like, can you portion out my life, because this is the wound, Sag. It's like you have some sort of inner child wounding where it's like, I need you to like, yeah, can you please come up to me and like portion out my life for me? Can you please like, can you like, you it's like that's what's happening right now. You're able to discern now, because you had to go through the cycle with this partnership that wasn't ordained in order to really see that, you know, in order to really see, like, I can't go up to you and tell you to, this is like basically someone selling you back your own shit. That's not like the future. Like, don't make it this partner just like bottle your own personality up and then like spoon feed it back to you, because you're saying basically, Sagittarius, you need to regulate yourself.
Yep.
You have to regulate yourself, basically, because I think you're more regulated now, but I think you cause a lot of stalled out in your process in general. So I just want you to reflect on that. It's just like, yeah, moving forward, again, we can't change anything in the past, but moving forward, we need to make sure that we're integrating that, you know, the Hermit, we really need to integrate so we can really feel super free. Because I think the whole point of this is like, the reason I'm getting you guys this message like right now is so that before the full moon, you can put this up under the release of the full moon. Like, I don't want this cycle anymore where it's like, I'm not able to discern partnerships that don't align with my spirit. Well, how do I get more in tune with my spirit? I think my suggestion for you this summer is just keep doing what you're doing, which is meditating over who you really are. Because I also still just kind of see there's still like a lot of Sagittarians that come to my head. It's like some of you are still trying to be highly desired. You're like taking, some of you are really getting it, some of you are really integrating that it's like, it's not about getting, you're putting so much, it's like you're starting with a karmic ideal, and it's an Ace of Wands. Like, oh, this is my idea, and it's something very karmic. It's not your truth, because you're actually developing a mental illness, because it's about basically how you're gonna try to stomach yourself. It's like how you're gonna tell yourself something that's not ordained is ordained, because you're gonna keep doing it, is what you're telling yourself. I'm gonna keep staying in this thing, but it's not, even though I know it's not ordained. And that's why you're developing negative, toxic, like hyper fixation things that you're doing, and you're putting like funding and resourcing, and you're like building it out when you don't even actually need to do any of that stuff. It's just a projection over a single feeling. This is what Mercury retrograde in Cancer is really gonna nod. It's like the feeling is informative, but it is not fact. So you know what I'm saying? So a lot of you are like girl bossing too hard or some shit, because you don't even, what you really need is like to leave the partner you're with. But yeah, in the end, it's like, I've gotten so far out where I've created 14 new business ventures just because I can't be real with myself that I'm just not happy at home. And that's why I'm making all this shit for me to like do. Because there's only 24 hours a day. What is y'all's like day, like Sag, what's our day look like? Are we actually like functioning? Are we like vegging out because we're like actually like 18-hour days, Sag? No. Because that's why you're gonna be tweaky on that. Because you're like funneling your resources to keep yourself. Don't do this. Let's like, under the Capricorn, it's like let go of the big burdening. I'm gonna like body the whole plan, because this is someone who's like, I'm about to do some karmic shit with someone that's karmic as fuck, but we're gonna just like make a plan for it. That's not any more righteous. It's not any more righteous to still be like somebody's baby mama, but because we like get our bag together, it's better. I mean, it's not morally better. It's better for the kid, because you still, yes, do your best to be there, but it doesn't make it any less karmic of a union. And I think you got caught up because you did something karmic, you tied it into a union, you partnered with it, but then it's like you wanted to be the person that was telling people like, no, because we were able to meet some exponential, consistent, standard resource quota, that it was any less karmic. And that's actually glamour magic, actually, yeah. And that's why you got breadcrumbed, yeah. That's glamour, yeah. So we can't do that. That's a magic offense, so we can't do that. Yeah, no. And then you can't like squirm your way out of it either. You can't just like deflect and then be like, back to me. Like, you're not in a breadcrumby partnership, but you're being breadcrumb because you're disobedient. So okay, right, okay. Okay, Sag. And Sag. Oh, I hate to say this. Oh, Sag, I hate to say this. Oh, Sagittarius. I really hate to air your business out like this. Sagittarius. Oh, Diddy, baby. Okay, I'm gonna tell it. The relationship you're currently in is a rebound. It was a rebound from your true King of Cups. I'm sorry, genderless. It was a rebound. Your heart and your abundance is connected and fated and destined to something else. 1,000%. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, the reason you incarnated as Sagittarius is because you have the wound of like, you guys are the guys who lost the love of your life. Like, the love of your life is like over there. They're like, damn it, no. So you're in the post love of your life, and you guys have been telling yourself that once you like lose like destined and fated love in some context, that it's like, yep, you get punished. So I feel like this is the life and the cycle you created after you, for whatever reason, some like dark entity attacked your mind and thought you couldn't hold this King of Cups that you already had in the past. Maybe I think the reason all this is also coming down is like, this is kind of like the good news on the other side of things. It's like, you really need to get strong on understanding what is breadcrumbing, because that King of Cups is emerging out of the depths. Yes, the actual ordained situation, thing that's actually like overflowing. Like, and I think this is kind of where karmic boo-boo guy doesn't stand a chance. Genderless, of course. But like, whatever karmic partner you have is not going to stand up when they're compared to this. If your whole body and spirit is like rejecting the thing that you're in the current covenant with, right, that we talked about, that you're like about to do the expansion pack with, don't use Jupiter and Leo to like do the expansion pack with this. Definitely don't. Because your actual partner, Rihanna, is emerging with the biggest bag ever. And that's probably what you feel right now. Because you may not even have the good karma, to be honest with you, to even touch this. Like, they're not, I'm not saying this person is coming for you. I'm saying they're standing up very loud in the truth that they're not lying. Like, they're on some, if I'm lying, I'm flying economy, and you're written in their story as their counterpart. So, yeah. So this is how God got you, because you weren't going to tell the truth. That you were literally about to try to use Jupiter and Leo to G up and expand. And God's like, you're not about to G this up anymore, because it looks like you've already done it 10 times. This is abuse. This is like, you feel really prideful about the demolishing of something that you made that was not ordained. It doesn't matter if it was successful in the matrix is over. So that's why it's like, God's like, it doesn't fucking matter. I didn't tell you to build that. And so when it's time to go into God's kingdom, God didn't tell you to build that, so that thing doesn't even exist. And I think you're having a schizophrenic episode, because in God's kingdom, you're seeing what all those people who were high vibrational around you, why they weren't even, like, I feel like some of you guys were really offended because, like, certain people didn't fuck with you and your partner as partners together. Not even, like, as individuals, but, like, you knew certain high vibrational energies were like, no, and you really try to really do your big one. You try to be like, you're just a toxic bitch and you're just hating on me. And then you did the toxic Sagittarian thing where you're like, I'm gonna get hot as revenge. It's like, baby, you can't be hot with anything. Hot is only defined by divinity, and divinity is not a purity thing. It's actually, are you doing what God said? The only things that are attractive are the things that are in a perfect masterpiece. Otherwise, it is confusion. That is not that's a painting that's like the tree's upside down. It's like, it's not cohesive. So what I'm saying is, it's not a good or a bad thing. It's like, is it what it's supposed to be, or is the picture messed up? And your picture is messed up. What you're in right now was the fallout, what you tried to make after, because remember we talked about Sagittarius, you had that disobedience wound, you know what I mean? That abuse wound that you were perpetuating. So it's like this relationship dynamic, this framework, this partnership that you chose to create is out of that wounding of being kind of shut out in the past. Like, I feel like, again, you were someone who had this and didn't know how to handle it in the past. But it doesn't really matter, because you need to remember that everything is about changing and developing. And I just really want you guys to avoid under this Capricorn, because I feel like some of you are about to rev up. Some of you are about to put an investment in, like, trying to make it look final form, and I want you to know you're going to achieve it. You're going to dress it up to the final form. You're going to get the final form of what the karmic situation can be. But then it's like the type of shit where it's like, what happens after we're announced? Billboards, Genius Record Secretary, Genesis, yeah, it doesn't matter. Nothing. What happens after our wedding day? You know, the rest of the days, right? Kind of frequent, like, it's like that kind of vibe. Oh Jesus. This is embarrassing, because it's like God, like, is paying you. This is like God incentivizing you to get the fuck. This is God being like, these are like divorces that you should get your settlement. This, because I think you are owed something, to be honest with you, because it looks like in the recent past too, you might have gotten into a situation, like, again, Father's Day weekend, like, there's something karmic that happened where it was like, that is like that's not only grounds for a breakup, but it's also grounds to get compensated for it. Again, if someone habitually abuses you actually have this on astral. I would encourage you to, if you're a survivor of any type of abuse, Sagittarius, I would encourage you to fucking air these niggas out into this big ass check, because you're gonna get the big ass check, and your king, the thing that was always written for you, it doesn't go away. Doesn't matter if you guys were in some tizzy wizzy kizzy glizzy busy. It doesn't even matter what the business was. It won't go away. And Three of Cups, I think you actually just feared the third party. Right? Let me dispel some illusions. The fear of missing out. Sag? That's what this is. The worst part about FOMO is it's always it's a propaganda scheme to get people who are in the kingdom of heaven to pimp themselves out and gaslight themselves out of believing that they're exactly where they are by focusing on things that don't have anything, but these are guests at a party. You are running a homestead or some shit, some percentages. So it's about getting the person who has the homestead, who has the sovereign ability to feel whatever and create whatever. You can make a party tonight and do that, but they want you to focus on the parties you're not invited to as a guest, but it's because you're over here doing, it's like, do you see what I'm saying? So FOMO I have a problem with, because it's actually targeted at a specific audience, and it's a specific audience of people who are better off without what they're being told they're left out of. Problematic. So fuck FOMO, Sag. Don't let FOMO ruin your life. Oh my God, that's what your message is gonna be called. Sag. Fuck FOMO. Fuck FOMO, bro. You've been crossed over. That's what this is gonna be titled. Fuck FOMO, I've been crossed over. I'm already the king of the new world. That's what the whole shit is. That's your message. You in the King of Pentacles. So if I'm encouraging right now to understand that this was not the partnership that's under review under the Capricorn moon, it wasn't ordained by Gadiana. God is letting you know, because all the evidence, because it's just abusive. We're talking about an abusive partnership. I'm not talking about no mild shit. You would know what I'm talking about. You got, over the weekend, over the recent past, you got evidence that karma showed up. Someone got some bad karma. Because it's like, because you're an abuser. You're an abuser. So if someone's an abuser, this is God saying, who are you going to be, Sagittarius? Even if you guys had, this is, Sagittarius, I'm going to tell you, you have plans you're going to have to cancel with this person. So this is like Sag getting this is when like, you see something, you got to say something, but it will kind of inconvenience you, because it might be like, I just saw my bro rape somebody, but it might be inconveniencing because we had a trip booked for 2 weeks from now. But yes, the trip's going to change, but it's either that or your salvation. Are you going to, don't double down, Sag. Go, you know what I mean? Be the friend that's like, I'm not sticking beside some shit that's not even for me. Don't cop out, take accountability, and make sure that you deal with your karma and say, this was not for me, and that's why I'm exiting. I'm not exiting because you're about to get the smoke. I'm being encouraged by the smoke to get the plug, but I'm not, but I know what's not for me, and that's the real reason I'm being moved to my actual castle. So yeah, you don't have to feel heavy either, because this little third-party shit that you're fearing missing out on is not for you. I'm literally here to tell you that. But it's because these guys are being outed. They were already outed as abusers in the past. And so if you go forward now, Sag, and you let your image be that I'm going to put resources into abusers, I just want you to know, we all see that you're doing that right now. So don't think right now that you're going to be able to get away in the future and be like, we didn't even know you guys were thinking of us as abusers. We didn't even know that was the discourse. No, that is the discourse. I'm being very clear right now. Every motherfucker who thinks that I didn't call them out for abuse, I definitely did. And you know I definitely did. So definitely don't go forward and try to act like you didn't get spoken to by God. And God knows you hang out with abusers. So we're trying to see what Sagittarius is about to do once your whole camp gets acknowledged for being abusive. Because that's happening right now. And you're about to make plans to expand with abusers. So you're not going to do that anymore. You're going to say, no, thank you. I'll cash out on the Rory. I'm going to take because look, you're about to become a king either way. These people want you to waste that time being burdened on them. You won't reach this. If you take this investment you're about to give a Jupiter and Leo and put it in those guys, you'll be carrying their load. You won't be sitting in your kingdom. That was already promised you. So do not let someone breadcrumb you back something you already were going to get regardless. For example, me and Dennis, King and Queen of Atlanta, I'm already here. Nobody's about to play me out of that. Nobody can buy me back. Nobody can get me to invest what's about to come into me that could get me to be somewhere on a throne instead of somewhere in Brokeback Mountain with you girls. No. Okay, Saggy? What did we say the title was going to be? We said it was going to be...
Fuck FOMO.
Fuck FOMO. I've been crossed over. Not jeopardizing shit. Love you guys so much. Let's kick ass this Capricorn full moon. And do not let FOMO run your life anymore. You have way too many morals, principles, values, and life experience to be played out of it. Cuss these whores out now. Let them know they're stinky and musty and fucking moralist, godless swine. Don't associate with them. Don't be a part of that, because you're not a part of that unless you're a part of that. You feel me? You heard? Love you. Bye.